At 6 o'clock, could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Just a reminder, if you have a cell phone, to please silence it or turn it off during the meeting. May we have roll call, please?
Mayor Bain. Councilor Corral. Here. Councilor Lundstrom.
Here.
Councilor Scalise.
Here.
Councilor Sherman. Here. Councilor Stradlin. Councilor Stroud.
Here. Okay, first order of business is our approval of tonight's agenda for this meeting. Are there any additions or corrections from council for the agenda? Hearing none, I would look to a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilor Stroud. Any further discussion on that item? Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Sherman. Yes. Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Stroud.
Yes.
Councilor Corral. Yes. Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, second item, we've all had a chance to look at the regular meeting minutes for November 22nd. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I would look for a motion on that as well.
I move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion to approve from Councilor Scalise. Do I have a second?
A second.
Councilor Lundstrom, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Councilor Corral. Yes. Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Sherman. Yes. Councilor Stroud.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, moving on to number 5, visitors and delegations. Citizens are invited to speak to council on any item that does not have a public hearing scheduled. There's a 5-minute time limit per person unless otherwise noted by the mayor. Each speaker will have one opportunity to address council, and please provide their name and address. Please note that no formal action will be taken on an item that is not on the posted agenda due to the open meeting law provision. However, they may be placed on a future posted agenda if action is required. To better assist you with questions, please submit them in writing to the city clerk and someone from staff will respond. There should be a form by the table there if that's needed. Is there anyone that would like, well, first of all, let me say we have 2 public hearings tonight. The first public hearing will be a nuisance ordinance. The second will be a public hearing on the budget. So if you have comments about those 2 things, I would hold off until we have the hearing. But if there's anything else anyone wants to publicly comment, now would be the time. Anyone? Okay. All right. Moving on to 6, management. 6A, this is a public hearing for ordinance number 893-21, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Article 1 of the Brush Municipal Code regarding administration and abatement of nuisances. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing, and we'll hear a staff report from our city attorney, Dan Crum.
Mayor, for you is an ordinance to help us effectively abate nuisances within the town. I believe this is the second reading, so yeah. This just gives us more methods to address a nuisance and solve it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Have any questions, council? We've talked about this quite a bit. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll go ahead and open it up at this time for public testimony. Is there anyone that would like to comment on this ordinance? Okay, let's see, we have no public testimony. Are there any final questions from council before we move to close the public hearing? Okay, I would look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ooh, that was so close, 3 of them. I'll give this to Councilor Sherman. Okay, any further discussion on this item? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilor Corral. Yes. Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Councilor Sherman. Yes. Councilor Stroud.
Yes.
Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, moving on to 6B. Now that we've had the public hearing, we can move to second reading on this ordinance. I would look for a motion to approve the ordinance as submitted.
Do you need the entire ordinance read?
Yes, please.
Okay. I move that we approve ordinance number 893-21, an ordinance amending chapter 7, article 1 of the Brush Municipal Code regarding administration and abatement of nuisances.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the ordinance. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilor Scalisi, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Correll,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Strau,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, moving on to 6C. This is a public hearing on the 2022 budget. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing and we'll hear a staff report from our Finance Director, Joanne Gosling.
So before council tonight is the presentation of the final budget for 2022. We have had two public hearings. The one was on September the 27th, and that was for department heads to present their line item requests. The second one was on October the 25th, and that was for department heads to present their capital projects. By state statute, by October the 11th, the city administrator needs to present a budget to the council, and that was, we did that. And then on November the 10th, which was also open to the public, we did our budget retreat and went through the entire budget with council. And at this time this evening, we are asking that council approve the final budget and resolutions. It does have to be adopted by Wednesday, and that's a state statute requirement.
Okay, are there any questions of Joanne? Council? Okay, thank you, Joanne. Okay, at this time, I'll go ahead and open it up for public testimony. Is there anyone from the public that would like to talk about the budget? No? Okay, all right. Are there any final questions that council have of staff? Okay, no. Okay, I'll look for a motion to close the public hearing.
I would move to close the public hearing for the 2022 budget.
Okay, we have a motion to close the hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
Councilor Lundstrom, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Strau,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Correll,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, there's a reason Joanne stayed up there, because she's got the next item too, 6D.
For a few seconds.
Yeah, well, a bunch of highway users tax spending report, Joanne.
Yes, before presenting the resolutions for adoption, I would just like to report that for our highway users tax, our estimated revenue for 2021 is $155,000. Our budgeted revenue for 2022 is $150,000. This money in 2021 was used for the maintenance of the street. That can be used for the cost of personnel and any street maintenance we need, as well as traffic control. And for the 2022 budget, we will be using the money for the same items.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you. Okay, there's no action from council meeting.
No, I just need to report that by state statute.
Okay. Okay, moving on to 6E. Now that we've held the public hearing, this is the point where we look for a resolution to adopt the budget. Do you want to lead into that, Joanne? or-
I do.
Okay.
Before you this evening is resolution number 2021-10. It's a resolution to adopt the budget, a resolution summarizing expenditures and revenues for each fund and adopting a budget for the city of Brush, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2022 and ending on the last day of December 2022.
Okay. Okay, do I have a motion from council?
I would move to adopt resolution 2021-10 to adopt the budget.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt the budget through resolution. Do I have a second?
A second.
Councilor Sherman, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Strau,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Corral,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, 6F, this is another resolution appropriating sums of money. Joanne Gosling.
Resolution number 2021-11, a resolution appropriating sums of money to the various funds and spending agencies in the amounts and for purposes as set forth below for the City of Brush, Colorado for the 2022 budget year.
Okay, do I have a motion from council on this item?
I'd move that we adopt resolution 2021-11, resolution appropriating sums of money.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Councilor Lundstrom seconds. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Corral,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, this final item is to set the mill levy. Joanne Gosling.
Resolution number 2021-12, resolution to set mill levy, a resolution levying general property taxes for the year 2021 to help defray the costs of government for the City of Brush, Colorado for the 2022 budget year.
Okay, and the mill levy stays the same as it has for many years, 15.66.
Correct, it's not changing at all. We'll
Okay,
get more money because we have higher assessed values, but the actual mill levy itself does not change.
okay. Do I have a motion on this item?
Move we adopt resolution number 2021-12, resolution to set mill levy.
Okay, we have a resolution to adopt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilor Durrell. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Corral,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, moving on to finance, number 7.
I move we approve disbursements and payroll from November 23rd through December 13th, 2021 in the amount of $337,989.05.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilor Scalise, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Corral,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, number 8, moving on to staff reports. We'll start with our Assistant City Administrator, Rick Kroglio.
Good evening, council. So housing, we are with Westwood, we're in the stage where we're getting ready to go to planning and zoning, and that will be for a rezoning, a sketch plan, and a preliminary plat. So that's coming up. North Point Development, that is 50 apartments, and we're working on helping them finish their application, site plan, and sketch plan. That's where we're with them. Central School, that's 20 to 40 units, and they are in the phase 1 cleanup stage, and they've already removed like 8 roll-off dumpster load of junk, so they are moving forward. Commercial development, 18-acre site just north of Love's. That one is in the county, but we're in the process of starting an annexation for that one. So that's exciting to move forward. There was a ribbon cutting for the Brush Art Center this past weekend, and it's exciting to see that into fruition from Mr. Gifford. He's also known as the chicken guy, so
You just had to go
You
there.
really,
that's what he's known for. I just wanted to bring that up as something creative. And isn't that incredible? How did I do that? So it's really cool to see him go from a building where he had to kind of gut, and now it looks great.
Yeah.
So, and then 3 applications in the Board of Adjustments that will be meeting soon. These are just variances, mainly setbacks and heights of certain things that are accomplished. Nothing really controversial. Historic Preservation Board, I will bring something before you soon. They have a change in code. It's very minute, but it is something that's very important to them to change. Christmas lights, it's looking good downtown.
No, it's looking great downtown.
Very proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where we had to add some to our trees here because people were telling us that
We're a little under.
yes, that we were underwhelmed, and so we had to add some of that. Building permits are still doing slow, but they're consistent, mainly re-roofs right now. And then the secondary campus, we're in the process of reviewing their negative impacts, addressing road and entrances. So we are at the point now we have engineering involved to kind of go back and forth. And we met last week as a staff team to discuss it. I think there was a unanimous decision on our end. They are in discussions. I met with Scott Hutchins just to talk through some of these things, and we're going to meet again probably tomorrow to discuss it further. That's all I have for.
Is the annexation you talked about at the beginning of your report, would that be a flagpole?
Yes.
What you call flagpole annexation? Okay.
It's
So it
not
takes
quite flagpole, but it would be similar to a flagpole.
Okay.
So we're going to have to stretch across the interstate.
Right.
There's not a point, so we're going to have to create something
Okay.
to get there.
All right.
I gotta tell you, when last year when you first put those things downtown, all the Christmas decorations on the corners, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Like if that was, I was like, nah. But I gotta be honest, the more I'm down there, the more I see people taking pictures with their kids down there and really utilizing it. So that was awesome.
Do you remember the theme that we tried to have last year?
It's very neatness or something.
And it didn't go off very well.
Right.
So this year it's selfie Christmas.
That's it.
So
Oh,
we're gonna,
it's selfie
we're gonna do a
Christmas.
selfie Christmas.
Perfect.
So
It's working.
so the chamber's going to be involved. Coming up, I want to say this week we're going to try to do a marketing campaign to get people to come down and give some giveaways to people.
That's cool.
So,
Great.
any
Okay.
other questions? No.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, next up, our Chief of Police, Derek Voss.
Good evening, Council. I apologize in advance, but I do have a lot. I'll try to rush. As I'm sure all of you know, there was a homicide in Fort Morgan on Friday. Our agency has been very involved in that, from the initial response to investigation to SWAT. As of about 30 minutes ago, we've invested over 50 hours in assisting Fort Morgan PD, which I'm very happy that we're able to do that. It's been a challenging investigation, to say the least. But they would do the same for us, so that's that. We have 3 new hires-ish. We have one that started 3 weeks ago, and that's going well. We have one who we put through the academy. He graduated Saturday, and he starts tomorrow with field training, and then we extended a conditional offer this morning to a third. So that's a lot for an agency our size to bring on at once. We've seen this coming for about the last 2 months. We've been scaling back in other areas. We're still moving forward with the SRO position. The drug task force, Fort Morgan lost their task force investigator, as did we. So we're taking a hiatus on that until the end of first quarter 2022, just due to staffing and training needs for both agencies. With that, we realized that the last 2 officers we've hired also never went through a swearing-in formal process. So we are planning to do that in January, so we'll have a date and a time set up to do 5 swearing-ins. There's not a legal requirement to do that, but that's a formal oath of office, if you will, where they take an oath promising to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the land. So we will be inviting you to that whenever we set a date for it, sometime in January, hopefully early January. We ordered a new patrol car in February, and with supply chain, it kind of got stuck somewhere and nobody knew where. I got an email Friday, it's showing up in 2 days. So we're very excited for that. We did not expect that to happen. I've seen pictures, it looks great, so that's a positive for us. And then the last thing, our judge called me earlier today and just asked if I could give you an update with his conversations with the sheriff. And if I miss anything, Dan, help me out, please. The jail is maintaining a certain standard, so if they go above that with inmates, they stop accepting. They've picked the number 72. I don't know what matrix they use to get there, but that's their number. So if they have less than 72, they will accept municipal arrests. And they understand that we're not out actively trying to take people to jail on municipal warrants. We run into them. But if they're under 72, they'll take them, they'll screen them in. Our courts are committed to doing bond hearings as quickly as possible and doing arraignments as quickly as possible. That's anywhere from 2 hours after arrest to maybe 12 hours after arrest, but it is happening very quickly. We have made arrangements with the jail during normal business hours, which they've agreed to define as 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. If we have somebody who's got municipal warrants, we can actively go and make those arrests during business hours and take them to the jail because they have more staffing there, so they're able to process them through and actually make arrangements and bond hearings without ever putting that person into the general population. So it is a great, huge step forward for us, and so far it's working well. I'm not aware of any hiccups on our end or their end. I heard there was a counting issue, but that's not my fault. So anyway, that is all I've got.
I have a
Any
question for you, Chief.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the status on your code enforcement officers?
So we have 2 code enforcement officers. One we will be sending to the academy in January. So about a month and a week from now, she'll start the academy. We are advertising for her replacement already.
That's why I asked.
Okay.
Because I saw it.
So we're planning ahead there. And we were able to make that a full-time position as well. So right now it's 30 hours a week. That will bump up to 40.
I just know we were all so excited to have that second code enforcement officer. I was just
Yeah.
hoping that we hadn't lost somebody.
We haven't. It's actually worked out very well for us
Yeah.
because
Okay.
she's got the appetite for law enforcement,
Yes.
and really, I think that will work out well for us.
Good.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, our Fire Chief, Ted Anderson.
Evening. So I just talked to my assistant chief about our new engine. It was supposed to be here the 28th, and SVI confirmed today that it won't be. So we kind of were expecting maybe the second week in January. That's looking more realistic. So we're still waiting patiently.
Okay.
When you get that, maybe a good opportunity for everyone to go down and see it and
Oh, yeah.
do a little tour of the whole facility.
Sure.
That'd be great. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. And we've got some interest in some new volunteers. We've got one through the process, and we've got 3 more working through the process, so we could potentially have 4 new volunteers the first of the year.
Oh, that's encouraging.
So, yeah, that's great. So,
Very good.
that's about it.
All right.
Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, Dale Corwick, Director of Public Works.
I have nothing at this time.
That never happens.
Okay, moving on, Joanne Gosling, Finance Director.
Follow Dale, I don't have anything else this evening.
All right, you had quite a bit. Miranda Packard, City Clerk.
Just one thing to mention is that the training planning to have in December, we're gonna look at the beginning of January.
Okay. All right, Dan Krob, City Attorney.
I'll save mine for the workshop.
Okay. Monty Trez, City Administrator.
One item is we are right now doing a little study on regards to the requirement for water. Whenever someone's annexing into the city, there is a requirement to bring for each acre coming in 1 acre or 3 acre feet of water. And so it's kind of tough for some of those interested to come in and find that water. A lot of time the water shares are tied to farms or property, or it's just hard to find it or enough of it. So we're doing a little study to determine what would be cash in lieu of. And that is in our city code that we're allowed to do that. We just never had to do it before. But to make it easier for someone that has an interest to annex, we want to give them that option. And so between Rick and Dale and our water consultants, we hope by the next council meeting that we have the draft of that, and it'll come in a form of a letter from, or memo from our consultants, and then we'll get that to the city council. And we're not quite sure if it requires a resolution or if it's just as a policy, to establish it as a policy to the administrator, but at least we'll be all on the same sheet of music, and if someone wants to annex in, we can give them a flat dollar rate versus them spending the time to find water shares to bring to the city. And everything else I have is in the work session.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Council? Okay. All right, let's move on to mayor and council reports. Does anyone have anything to report tonight?
Is this our last meeting of the year? We have one more. Do we know yet?
We didn't have that on the agenda. What is it looking like?
I guess, we'll wait like a week and just send out an email to the council if no one has any items for that second meeting, we can cancel it. But if for some reason we had any type of emergency business, we can have it on the 27th.
That would be the next day,
Yeah.
regular date.
Only if needed.
Okay.
If we don't, even if we don't have it, I apologize. Finance will have to come in and sign off on it.
Yes, we will do that. Okay. Oh, I want to take time out to recognize our guests. Are these Boy Scouts?
Yes.
Are we earning a badge tonight?
Yes.
I did the same thing. And look what I got.
What badge, guys?
We're working on our citizenship in the community badge.
Nice.
Great.
We're working on requirement for, we have to go to a council meeting.
Okay.
One of the topics, issues that was brought up, and we had to go with which opinion we found.
Oh, is that right? Oh, well, good.
I get to talk to them.
Yeah. Okay. Are any of you in 5th grade or past 5th grade? Have any of you come to, once a year we have the city have 5th graders come in, and is that right? You've done that too, huh? Yeah, we've changed that up to where we would have city staff kind of show them what they do, and we kind of changed it up to where we have part of the 5th graders as citizens, and part of them come up and serve council seats, and we give them an issue and let them work it out. And I think it's worked really well the last couple of years doing that. I think they seem to have fun doing it. So, well, anyway, thank you all for coming. We appreciate it very much.
You picked an exciting one.
Yes. Yeah, budget one is not our most exciting meeting, that's for sure. but we-
Patience merit badge for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate the number. Are there council, I'll turn it back over to council.
One more thing, in case this is our last meeting of the year, I wanted to say how grateful I am to have a mayor like Rick Bain. He's been awesome. When you start this, when you come into this, you don't know what you're doing. You know, you kind of, it's intimidating. It's super intimidating. And I've known Rick for a very long time. So thank you so much. The only saving grace is we have a mayor that's coming in. It's going to be probably better than Rick, honestly. Smarter, younger, you know.
Better looking.
Better looking. But Rick's been such a great mayor. He's cared about this town so much, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And before I stop there, we have another mayor that's also leaving us, the Godfather. So I don't know if we have the same protection when he's not here.
It'll be sketchy.
Especially for me.
29.
But also, Dennis Cleese has been amazing in our community
Yeah.
and his service to this community. So thank you both very much for what you've done.
Thank you. We're gonna make Dan leave his phone so we at least have the protection of that ringtone.
And I wait for the meeting they come to complain about something. They sit in that meeting, they come up here and they want to.
Oh, you think that's gonna happen?
You better hope it doesn't, because you'll be ignored. So.
All right. Anyone else?
I do have something I'd like to say. I would just like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and the library as well for the tree lighting that occurred.
Yes.
It was amazing. It was beautiful. Such a great community spirit. It was probably the best turnout I've seen in years. That probably has a lot to do with the fact that we had great weather. So it was really good, and I'm also going to miss having you guys up here. So thank you for being here and for teaching those of us who didn't know any better.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Any other council reports? Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and adjourn. We have a pretty full work schedule ahead of us, so we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting and move immediately into our work session. Yes.
And for the council,
Okay.